Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me, please, you can respond. Just let me know you can hear me. Okay, so I'm saying a lot of good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing fine. I'm sure. Okay, I can see we can hear you. I can hear you now. All right, so I'm sure everyone can hear me now. Think just going to ask how were your days, each and every one. Hope everything went fine. And has been the task. I've seen a lot of people who have submitted the last given task, and just going to ask how was the task, and did you have any application of the resources that was posted? Did the resources have any application to your task? How was it in general? Like, what did you think of the task? My day was quite a little bit eventful. Okay, so I'm just going to I'm going to love quick rundown of okay, how was the task for you? Did you enjoy doing the task? For those who have done it, and those who have not done it, what are the problems you're having? What are the problems you're facing? What is the issue? Do you understand the resource that you've been given? Have you gone through any of the resources? I think there are quite a few number of links. How has been your experience so far? Like, this is like the first big task like you'll be doing, and I'm sure it's maybe quite exciting for some people, interesting. They feel excited to get started on the track. So what's it been for people? I've been seeing some people are saying it's very interesting, very helpful. That's good. That's great. The task is cool. That's nice. Someone is asking, what task am I referring to? There's a task that has been published. I'm sure some people are already taking the task. There's a task that has been published already on the LMS. So if you check your LMS and you've registered perfectly well, you should be getting the tasks if in your dashboard. Since or as long as you're on the design track, you should be getting the tasks. So someone says, I haven't worked on the introduction to design task. I've been working on resources. They've been very enlightening and informative. That's great. That's great. I think reading is cool. Watching videos is also can be very enlightening. So you're on the good track. Someone says, I missed out on the track. The time allowed for the task elapsed. Is it possible to retrieve the 10 questions? I'm not quite sure about that. And when you say the task time elapsed, I don't know if the task has closed already, but if it has closed already, I'm not sure what can be done about it. But I think I would just say, if you can remember anything from the task, it's not really a very deep task. I think it's just mainly based of the resources, especially the introduction to design video. So if you can watch the video again, you would not really be missing out on anything. But if anything changes, you definitely know. If you can see the questions again and all, you will definitely know about it. Someone says the task disappeared before I could even access it. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Someone says they don't understand what to do with Slack and Figma. Well, Slack is a platform where you communicate with your friends, your folks, like people you are getting to meet on the platform. That's where you'll be able to interact with them. Because some people, at some time, maybe in this tech journey, you might actually meet some people who will motivate you as motivate them. It's actually always fun to meet new people, and then this would provide you a way of interacting with people. And then Figma is, as a product designer, Figma would be a very important part of the tool you use, like a very important part of your life. So I think if you have not signed up on Figma, sign up on Figma, get started, start maybe moving around, just looking at the UI, see how it looks like, just immerse yourself in it, just familiarize yourself, like just look at it and feel this is going to be my workplace very soon. So something like that. Someone said the task was complicated. Wow, like that's a new one. But then I guess you said it's worth it, then it must be worth it. Someone said they've done the task, they are quite confused, the difference between UI and UX. I understand that the UI designer only designs and the UX designer maps out the product, but it still confuses me. Okay, so it is not really entirely just it's not really entirely just maybe UI designer designs. UX designer also design. There are UX designer who designs, but I think mainly a UI designer deals with the look and the feel of whatever the product is, like the way the product. Okay, so I like to explain this using physical products. So I don't like explaining with digital products, because with digital products you can easily get confused and all. But with say physical products, like you can't get confused. But with digital products you can easily get confused. So physical products, let's say a mouse now. My company is to design a mouse. I'm a UI designer. So I've gone to maybe AutoCAD or whatever software I'm using to actually, maybe AutoCAD, I'm using Blender, and I've rendered the way the mouse is going to look like. I've designed it out, I've rendered it, the ergonomics, the shape, where people are going to place their hands, the way they are going to hold the mouse, the way the button is going to click, the scrolling wheel. I have designed everything out. Now, the work of the UX designer would be to come and take a look at it and feel and analyze it and test it, see how people are going to use it. Would it be useful for people in the way that I have made it? Are there other maybe design options we can consider? Are people going to have problems with maybe the way they would hold it, the way they are going to, are they able to reach the areas, the pressable areas, like the clickable areas? Are they going to be able to, people with small hands, are they going to be able to hold it? People with large hands, or they won't have problem with clicking, maybe double clicking too much, those kind of things. Those are the kind of things the UX designer would think about and work on. But normally the UI designer will just come up with, oh, this is going to look, you know, Apple mouse is different from the way Microsoft designed their mouse. But everybody designs mouse. Apple's AirPod Pro is different from the way maybe Google designs their Pixel buds. These are all different products, and they are all shaped in different ways. There are some earbuds you use and they can stay very well in your ear. There are some you will use and they won't stay well in your ear. And there are some companies that will design earbuds, and then no matter what kind of ear people have, they always fit. Now, this is not just maybe a try and error kind of relationship. No, people design, UI designers design, maybe craft out the way it's going to look and everything. Then the UX designers think about how it is going to be on the market, how people are going to interact with it, how people are going to use it, the viability, how generally people are going to be using it, interacting with it, like how people are going to feel using it, how people are going to, you know, like there are some things you will use. And I was holding a phone today. The phone is boxed, like it's a square. And I was trying to make a call. And then the square part of the phone edges was pressing into my finger, and then it was hurting me. Then I thought of it and I was like, oh, wow, like this is one of the benefits of having rounded corner phones now. Most phones nowadays have rounded corners. But because I was in a phone that has a boxy corner, it was really hurting my hands. So that means evolution has happened. People, some UX designers have actually thought about it and have seen that, oh, this thing is not really comfortable for people this way, or we need to improve on this, we need to get better at this. Then they start making curvy phones. Now phones start getting very curved. So that's one of the way it works. So I hope that explains and helps you understand better. So someone said, what is the best way to answer in the answer section? Just type in the correct option or answer in the correct option. think if you type in the correct option, as long as you type into the text field, I think you should be fine. As long as your answers are there, you're able to send your answers through, I think you should be fine. It doesn't matter how you craft it. Someone says, I've been hearing about Figma, but I can't see anything about Figma on my dashboard. Is there something I'm missing out? Oh, so Figma is a tool. You have to go to their website, figma.com, then try to download it. So just go to figma.com, then click on download. You can download it as an app, or you can just sign up. If you sign up, it takes you and you just get registered on Figma directly like that. So that's one way about it. So just go to figma.com and then just sign up, and then boom, you're in. All right, so someone says post channel. Do you mean Slack? Post. No. I meant LMS, the LMS. So I meant the LMS. And someone says UI is simply, okay, person is explaining it. UI is simply the design you can see on the screen, on the product. The button is the card. UX is the experience user feels while interacting with the interface. Yeah, that's close. That's true in a sense. It's quite bigger and larger than that. So I think people have said what Figma is for. Then let me see another question. What's the difference between interaction and motion designer? Okay, so motion designer. Okay, interaction designer actually deals with how you interact with products in general, like how you interact, like just as the name suggests, actually how you interact with products. So products. I think when we use digital products, I mean softwares, to explain design concepts, it gets difficult for people to understand sometimes. But if you use hardware products, people can easily understand it. So I have a system, I have a laptop. Interaction designers will think of, okay, like when I come to a website, how am I going to interact with the website? Am I going to go to my mouse, or am I going to try to use keyboard to move around? What am I going to do exactly? Those kind of things, interaction designers think about them. So how people interact with products. It could actually be a digital product, could actually be a physical product. Interaction designers will think of, okay, like this product now, say I'll use mouse again. How would people press it? How people interact with it? What would people do to use this mouse? Should it have an on and off button? I think if you remember this Apple product very well, there's this Apple mouse where you want to charge it, you have to stop using it because the charging port is underneath, and it's not even easy for people to use at all because the charging port is underneath it. So as an interaction designer, you ask yourself the question, like, how are people going to interact with this mouse? When people want to charge this mouse, how would they charge it? What would be the use case? All those kind of things. Interaction designers think about those things. But motion designers actually just concern themselves with anything that is moving, like they allow elements to move in your design. So if you have a design and things are moving around, say you have this text that drops from above, it just drops, then it changes, it rotates. There is a line that comes from nowhere and slides through. Those kind of things, motion designers work on them. Or you have maybe say, okay, now, yeah. So just imagine when Apple was announcing the iPhone 14 Pro, and they were doing the whole dynamic island presentation. It is a motion designer that actually maybe okay, the way the phone will be shown, the way the dynamic island would actually come into play, the way the elements will move around, because now it's not in the design software anymore. It's something that they export and it has to play on its own. So motion designers will actually make sure all those things moving smoothly. You know, when they want to maybe reveal the product, the phone, maybe it can come from the top, it will spin, it will do different kind of things. So all those moving around, twisting, turning, enlarging, all those things are things that motion designers work on. So just when you want to define it in your head and you want to separate them, just say interaction designer, they deal with interaction, how people interact with products. Motion designer just make design move around. They make a very like a presentable design where there's a lot of motion going on or happening in that design. So then I tried creating an account on Figma, but it's quite confusing how it works. Okay, so why is that? That's not supposed to be much of an issue. I think maybe if I have some time and I'm taking some questions, I would try to show you how to do that. So creating an account is not an issue. Okay, so more people answering UX and UI. Yeah, then yes. Okay, yeah, people explaining Figma also. And there's a problem with Slack registration. I think just try it once again, and if you still get stuck, I think I'm supposed to ask what problem. I think there's a place on LMS where you can ask this question. So just if you still get stuck and you try it and it still doesn't work out, just go to your LMS, try it again, because the link say the link needs to be reactivated every now and then. So maybe when you tried it wasn't activated. So just keep trying it. And if it doesn't still work, then just ask the question again on the LMS. So does product design entail coding? No, product design doesn't entail coding. You don't have to be you don't have to know how to code. I think just having the knowledge of it is great. Having a knowledge of it is great, but you won't have to write codes or anything like that unless you want to further your knowledge and do that on your own. But product design in itself, you don't have to code. You don't have to have the knowledge of code itself. You don't have to start coding, writing programs or anything. No, none of that. So then someone says, I'm new to all of this. Is what's giving my time to. I really want to learn from your. Thanks for having me. You're welcome. Then okay, so people still talking about UI and UX, and I have a channel on Slack before, but confirming my email for I4G has been a problem since 2 days ago. What do you mean confirming your email for I4G? What email did you use to register for I4G? And check your emails again for the Slack link. So the email that has the Slack link is the email that you should use. So just try it. Can one get a remote job as a product designer? Sure, obviously. Yeah, a lot of people have remote job as product designers. A lot of product designers around the world are remote workers. So yeah, sure, you can do that. Then say calculus was really good. Yeah, I'm sure you will be happy you're seeing this. Thanks. Slack link sent to you is not going through. Try it again. And if it still doesn't work, send a message on the LMS and ask for help. And what's different between UI and UI designers and user interface designers? UI actually means user interface. So I think you're asking about the same people. Unless you are saying user experience designers, that's UX designers. UI designers are user interface designers. UX designers are user experience designers, and you can say UI UX designers. That's like user interface, user experience design. That is the shenanigan. So then your Slack registration is not going through. Please keep trying, and then if you still get stuck, please send a message on the LMS. Do you also recommend Adobe XD for practice? Yeah, you can try out Adobe XD, but for this whole say training and learning session, you are going to be using Figma. So I will just advise you stick with that for the meantime. If you want to broaden the kind of tool you learn, then you can go and learn Adobe XD. But for the mainstream part of this course and this training, you'd be required to use just Figma alone. So does Figma work on phone? Sadly, no. Sorry about that. No, you have to use it on a system. So is this an actual class or a question and answer session? Because my battery is low. The question and answer session. Sorry about your battery. Okay, so people are still asking questions. Figma does not work on phones. Okay, yeah, yes, thank you. People saying good evening, good evening. What is design pattern? Okay, so that question is quite ambiguous. Design pattern, as pattern is like when you describe something that is a pattern, could actually be like a set, like a how would I put it, like an orchestrated or a very well arranged set of let me just say components. Like when you arrange something in total, like in order, that could actually be a pattern. It could actually be following a pattern because maybe you're saying 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. That's a pattern. Design pattern could also be maybe like you have maybe a pattern like a circle that you have actually arranged in different ways, and then you put it on maybe a part of your design. It starts as a pattern because maybe the way the circles are arranged forms a pattern. So it could be that pattern. Then it could also be maybe the way your design works, the way you design, the way your design is like is being shown to people, the way the process you follow through when you design. It could mean any of that. So I think from that you should be able to pick your answer. But I'm sending it how many times now? 6 times. Just I just explained it. So just please try to pick whichever one applies to you between what I just explained. Can you shed more light on design thinking? Design thinking is basically the way you think through your design process. So there are different design processes. Yeah, there are different design processes. People use different processes for this whole design thing. So design thinking is just the process of empathizing, defining, ideating, prototyping, testing. So it has a process. So the whole process is what is called design thinking because it helps you like you empathize, you understand what problem people are having with their designs, or like what problem people are having with something, like the problem people have out there in the world. I mean, like say all right, so we need access to the internet. Somebody created phones that could browse. Everybody was always maybe using their system to browse. You're going to cyber cafes, but somebody came up with a phone that could browse, solved a lot of people's problem. Design thinking, they must have done that through design thinking because they have to think of, okay, what's the problem? People are having this problem. How do we solve this problem? This is the problem. The problem is people need to be able to access internet on their phones. So we need to make phones better to be able to accommodate a way to make people access the internet. And we've come a long way from having small phones that could access the internet, Symbian phones, all those small Nokia phones, BlackBerry, those kind of things. Then the innovation kept on. People started, okay, what kind of, what is the process? What is the way it's going to take? After defining the problem, they start ideating, maybe trying out different ways, different forms. People are bringing their own ideas on how it will work, what should we do. Different companies will have even different ideas. Then they start prototyping. They start maybe coming up with real products that maybe they feel can solve the problem. So they start coming up with different ones. It could even just be one. Then after that, then they start testing. Take it out to people, test it. Or is it acceptable? Is it working fine? Just that kind of a thing. I mean, Samsung thought of it and said, okay, we needed a phone, a full phone that can fold. And do you know how many times they've tested it? They've refined the idea. They've gone over it like over and over again. They started with a folding phone, then they started with a folding tablet. So the process by which you achieve that, you solve that problem, the different process of, I mean, this is their fourth version of maybe a folding phone and a folding tablet. The first one, I'm sure like a lot of people criticized it, but it was a working prototype and it was really good. So process of iterating, going over the design thinking process over and over again. So it's a continuous process, not something that is just basic and static. So it's a process. I think so that should help you understand it better. Then what's the difference between a UI designer and user experience designer? UI designer, UX designer, I think I've explained that before. Yeah, so I've explained that before. Then is it okay to migrate from product design to visual UI or visual design if that is the person's niche? Yes, you can actually do that. But then UX is not really difficult. So you should be able to do the two. But then if you want to be a UI person, fine, you can be a UI person. You can just be the person that designs the interface, Your design, your UI design game has to be top notch. Like your brain has to be, all it needs to be flowing from your head. Like when it comes to visual design, when they say UI, you just see all will be flowing from your head. You just be giving them like hot. Yeah, if you can do that, then that's fine. You just have to master the craft. You have to master that niche. All right, so someone says, I thought UX designer tries to solve problem and create a journey map for the user before the UI designer designs it. Yes. So you go through the UX process of trying to solve, that's like part of the design thinking process too. Everything is interconnected. So you go to the UX process, start doing all this research. From your research, you start coming up with process ways for you to make a product better or come up with a new product. Then after that, you have come up with the results from your research will now motivate the UI designer to design. After the UI designer is done with the design, it comes back to the UX designer again. They'll check it. Okay, can people use it? Is it good enough? What do we need to change? What do we need to improve? All those kind of things. So it's a continuous process. Like that's why you do this one, a UX designer work on the whole process and everything, gives the UI designer what to work on. The UI designer works on it, designs it, sends it back to the UX designer. UX designer checks, okay, is it enough? Is it what we need? Can it be improved? Is it easy to use? Is it enjoyable? Are the users happy with the process of using it? Do they find anything difficult? Yeah, so it's a continuous back and forth kind of relationship. All right, so Slack registration, please keep on trying, check if it doesn't still work, please send a message on the LMS and it will be attended to over there. Please, as we are registering for Figma, when asked what kind of work we do, we choose design or user research. Just choose design. Just choose design. Since you are learning product design here, just choose design. Calculus said interaction design deals with motion design. I am confused. Interaction design as prototyping and also the process of understanding the way users use a product embedded in it. So imagine you design a website and you want to know how people will use your website. Obviously, you have to prototype it. So when you prototype it, you give it the link to people, then they can click buttons, they can maybe see a link and identify that this is the link. Over on the link is to change color, all those kind of things. Then the whole process is there are still moving components in the way the user is interacting with the design. Like you click on something, it takes you to a new page. Those are still movements. Things are still moving around. So that's maybe why you actually feel confused about it. So, but there's a different design category, say design profession called motion design. There's another one called interaction design. So you can actually have a little bit of motion, things moving around in interaction design. And you can actually use motion design maybe to do interaction, to like foster interaction, to maybe explain interaction design, all those kind of things. So most design say professions are interwoven. Like the knowledge and understanding of one helps in another one. So it's not like maybe the two are the same, but I'm sure it's because maybe you explained that things are moving in when you prototype and things are moving around. That could be a form of motion, but you don't have to like say tag it as motion design on its own, because that's not even the essence, that's not even the tip of motion design. All right, so I've shared more light on design thinking, so I've done that already. 2D representation is the work of a motion designer. No, that's a UI designer, a visual designer. A visual designer should be able to design maybe 2D illustrations, representations. A visual designer, that's the work of a visual designer. Now, if all those things were to move around, were to have life, maybe interact, bend, twist, that would be the work of a motion designer. All right, so UI designer, design interface, you see why UX designer deals with how users will feel or how users felt using it. Yeah, kind of like that. How is interaction designer different from UX designer? From your explanation, it looks like they do the same job. Okay, so yes, it's not like they do the same job, but like say UX designer concerns themselves with the general way the design works and everything, like the process, the research, the empathy map, the user flow, the way the app will flow, the user journey map, all those things, user story, persona, UX designer concern themselves with all of that. Now, interaction designer now go in depth to, oh, the product has been finished, the product is done. How will people interact with this product? Or before we even start designing this product, let's think of how people would use this product. Now, say, like I keep using physical products, like the way Google designed their earbuds is different from the way Apple designed their earbuds. They are still earbuds, but then the way people interact with it, the way you will hold it, the way you will put it in your ear, the way you will next maybe double tap to change the track, maybe long press to increase the volume. All those things are different. So interaction designer will actually think of, oh, what would be the easiest way the user can use this, the user can interact with the product. So all of these things are intertwined and very connected. But then it's when maybe you have mastered everything. Maybe when you do UI UX, you'll be able to understand basically most of everything. But then when you want to start, say, diving deep and choosing a very particular aspect or niche, then you can now say, okay, like I want to identify myself as an interaction designer. I just want to make the interactions between people and computers, people and their phones. I want to make it better. I want to make it smooth. I want to make it seamless. Then you can say you are an interaction designer, and then you can dive more into that aspect and make sure, like, okay, like all your work or whatever you do will be to that, to like better that niche, that kind of a thing. So that's just it. Then okay, so I've explained that one. Lot of people are asking the tax questions. My own is, though, in designing a product, does UX come first, or it can go either way? Do you also need to know the two? You need to know the two. UX comes first. You need to know the two. You do UX, you do UI, you go back to UX. This is because if as a UI UX designer, if you know the two, as you are designing after doing the whole UX process, as you are designing the UI, with the knowledge of UX that you have, it will inform your design decisions when you're working on the UI design. So that's a very big part of it too. So I think you have to consider that, you have to think of that. Then what else? Is making an illustration using tangible products rather than digital products. So you probably shouldn't mix it up. Okay. Thank you for that. What's this person's question? Okay, thank you. One can't do without the other. Can you share more light on design thinking? I have done that already. Is this course possible without a laptop? I'm afraid not. Please, if you're able to get the system, get the system. Is it a problem that I choose teams and organizations on Figma? It's not a problem. If you have money and you can pick for teams and organizations, sure, you can. It's not a problem at all. I'm having issues installing Figma software on my laptop. What could be the problem? There could actually be a lot of different problems. Could actually be maybe if your system is 32-bit, you're downloading for 64-bit, but I think it should actually work whichever one you download. So it could actually be an issue from your system, but then Figma can work on your browser, so you don't have to download it. Once you register on Figma, it just takes you to a dashboard on your browser, and you don't have to download it. Anytime you want to work, just go on your browser and type figma.com. It's going to show you your dashboard. As simple as ABC. All right. So shed more light on design thinking. We've been shedding light on design thinking. Like say the light goes something instead. All right. So people saying what repeating questions. People come at point in time and then ask questions that have been answered. What is an Illustrator designer? Can you shed more light on this, please? An Illustrator is okay. So what you have here, this is an illustration, like this guy pressing a system here. This is an illustration. So an illustration designer or illustrator is somebody who draws this, like who creates this. So somebody who spends their time creating illustrations, creating, it could not, it could be illustrations of people, it could be illustrations of buildings, it could be any kind of form of illustration, like as long as somebody is creating it digitally and is working on it, could even not necessarily be digitally, but as long as you're creating, just like the word sounds, illustrations, like things that people can use to explain other things. So I think this is product design office hours. So somebody designed somebody working on a system, which actually implies that, okay, maybe they're in the office or but they're working on a system. So I just wanted to imply here that, okay, this is like an office time, like a system, somebody working on their computer time. You understand? That's why I put this illustration. So somebody that can make, say, what other word do I use for illustrations? So somebody that can make maybe like components like this, or like art like this, that I can use to further explain what I'm trying to convey, further explain my message, then those are people are illustrators. So somebody created it and I'm trying to use it to further explain the message, product design office hours. So just like a complement office. It would be nice if I put the illustration of a cow here. There's no connection between a cow and product design office hour. So this is something that is connecting with it. So it's helping me to further explain the text that I have here. So something like that. Then what are the software we have to download? Just download Figma. If you are not on Slack yet, download Slack. I think that's majorly it. Please, can you also use a digital product to explain UX, UI? All right, so digital products, what should I use? What product should I use? What product do people use the most? Okay, so I don't know how many people use that product. Let me think. A product that people use day in, day out. All right, so okay, so with WhatsApp, a lot of people use WhatsApp. So with WhatsApp now, the UX designers actually think of, oh, what are the problems people are facing with WhatsApp currently? Let's just say the product already exists, so they want to improve it. UX designers will come and say, okay, what are the problems people are facing? What are the usability issues? What are the experience issues people are facing with this product? I think we now have a lot of privacy options, a lot of things that can solve like privacy issues. Now there's disappearing messages. Now you can do reactions, you can delete messages, all those kind of things. People are saying, please enable a way for people to edit messages. So UX designers will say, oh, people are having problem with this thing. How do we solve it? And they say, oh, okay, people, instead of people replying to messages, let's just give them a way to react to the message. Okay, fine. UI designer, how do we design it? Oh, okay, these are the designs that we can actually maybe use. And maybe they come up with like 3 different designs and say, you can do it like this, we can do it like this, we can do it like this. Then the UX designer would now take a look again and say, oh, okay, I think let's, from my own experience, these 2 are fine. Let's test these 2. And they go ahead, test the 2, and they come back with the result of the test and say, oh, this is the best one. Let's go with this. This is the one people voted for the most. This is the one people really love. They said it's more easy to use, blah, blah, blah. Then let's refine it. Let's make it better. Let's polish it up. After polishing it up, then they push. So that's just the way it works. Then are we going to learn to build portfolio during this training? Most likely, let me just say yes. If you follow through the training step by step, you'd already be able to create a portfolio by the end of the training. And let me see. All right, so any other one? I did that one. No, it's not a problem that you choose teams and organization. Apart from registering on Figma, now is there anything else to do, like sharing link or sharing link? You're not supposed to share anything for now. I think it's just to understand how to share your Figma file. I think there was a way, there was a task an article published on that, or like a post on that on the LMS. So you can check that out. Then what is interaction design? I've already explained it. When I was starting rework, you've already started rework, but you will start feeling the heat very soon. I'm sure that's what you're asking about. You will start feeling it very soon. Don't worry. Question: are we going to learn to build product designers portfolio during this training? You're going to be learning a lot of things. Product designers portfolio, the more you learn, the more you work on the task, you work on maybe your own personal task. At the end of the day, you would have a portfolio. So just follow through the training. What's the difference between UX designer and interactive designer? I've already explained UX designer, interaction designer. Thank you for Mr. Lloyd, thank you for your frustration. Yeah, you're welcome. That's fine. You're welcome. Good evening. Please, can you explain the basic principles of a UI design? Do I say basic principle of a UI design? So basic principles are like so everything I can explain here. I think you'd actually have to watch some videos for it. Basic principles are like alignment, color, typography, scaling. These are basic principles. Hierarchy. Yeah, hierarchy. There's one other one I'm trying to remember. White space, how to use white space, proximity. There's a lot of them, so I can't explain all of them right now because we are running out of time already. So that kind of a thing. So but then let me just list them again. We have hierarchy, proximity, you have white space, let's say color, typography, alignment. I think check the resource. If you check the resource, you will find some of this in what is contained in the links in the resources. You'll be able to understand them better that way. So then any major difference between Adobe XD and Figma? We use Figma. There is not much difference. Each one has their own upper hand. So, but then Figma is free and it's very easy to use. You can just use Figma on your browser from anywhere in the world. If you forget your system at home, you can log in from another person's system and continue your work or easily share your link. So it's just more accessible and more usable, in my own opinion. In my own opinion. So that's it. Who actually deals with design thinking? UI, UX, or both? Both. Both are included in the process, so they both deal with it. So both of them. I've explained UX designer, interactive or interaction designer. I've explained that. Okay, somebody is explaining what an illustrator designer is here. Okay, so that's that. Then all right, so I think these are a lot of explanations. I missed my last class. Is there any way I can get the video on the previous class? I think just go to Zuri, the Zuri team on YouTube, and you will see in their profile, you actually see all the videos. The ones that are relating to the product design, you will see it there. So you will know that okay, like this is the product designer. This is the product design videos. So you'll be able to watch them over and over again. All right. Answers to all these questions are in the resources. Yes, you can go through the resources. You'll see answers to these questions. All right. So where can I download the slide presentation I was using in the main video? Slide presentation. I think I would raise that and it would get back to you on that. Maybe it will be included in the if the post can be edited, it will be edited and be included. But subsequently, I would push for it that slide added to the videos. So we've got you covered. Then is UI designer, UX designer not the same person? Not essentially. They're not the same person when you split it that way. But when you say UI stroke UX designer, then you can mean one person. But your UI designer is different from a UX designer in the plain terms. Where does product management come in? in this, please. We're not. This is not a project management or product management program or training. This is product design training. Management is a different thing entirely. But who can say from product design you can actually pick up a lot of say knowledge that may be very helpful to you in product management. So are we going to learn to build product designers portfolio? Yes, you will be able to build a portfolio at the end of the program by God's grace. If you keep on moving the same way, like if you don't deviate and if you keep up with the same energy, definitely yes. A product designer is a combination of UX designer, interaction designer, motion designer, and all the designers that we have. Yes, you can say something like that. So a product designer actually understands the way the product works, the business part of the product, the whole UI, the whole UX, and some other intricacies of the design. So that's why in this program, we're not just going to be teaching you UI UX, we're going to be teaching you how to think like a product designer, what could be the problems that if you don't tailor your design very well, you can actually cause problems for users and everything. So it's just to teach you the whole product experience, the way the product life works. So you'll be able to have a very broader sense of it. So that is what this is. Then is a product manager different from a UX designer? Yes, a product manager manages projects. A UX designer design projects. So you can say a product manager will be able to say, oh, UI designer, like how far are we coming up on this? Have we reached this stage? Where is the product going? We are running back on like we are losing time. The deadline is maybe tomorrow. Where are we on the product? But the designer will be the one to design it and say, hey, this is design is ready. You can go through them here. This is this, that, those kind of things. And I think yep. What you say? I should not vex. I'm not vexing. All right. All right. So, yeah, people are actually saying a lot of things. Yep. I'm just trying to find questions through. Trying to find questions. This is a whole lot. It's quite scary how these little distinctions in all types of design are totally different but feel similar and interwoven. Yeah. As you journey along, you understand better. You understand better as you journey along. Just don't be scared. They are pretty much interwoven, yes. So that should put your mind at ease. You might actually not need to practice everything when you start. Gradually, you will get there. And when you get there, you will experience it and you feel, and you'll be able to say, oh, now I have experienced this, I have done this part of design, and wow, it's really nice. So that kind of a thing. All right. So I'm just going to try to skim through, see if there's any questions I'm missing. Task was removed. I'm not sure if task was removed. Maybe the time for the task elapsed and you're unable to access the task. If I don't know if any task was removed. Sorry about that. But please ask your question again on the LMS. All right. So okay, I've asked some questions. How can I join the product design platform since it has closed? Can it be reopened? I'm not entirely sure about that. I think just ask on the LMS. If you ask on the LMS, then you would be answered. A more distinctive answer will be given to you. So yeah, something like that. Someone says in my own opinion too. Yes, so in your own opinion. All right, so I've answered some questions. Information architect and UX designer, any difference? Information architect could actually just be people that will tell you information about like say the way the app is supposed to look like, the way the app is supposed to function. Just maybe like a user flow, a detailed a detailed user journey map, everything that it contains, the whole, say, it's like saying blueprint, somebody that helps or gives you the blueprint of the design. Like the design, you start from onboarding, you move to this screen, you move to that screen, the way to look like. That's what the information architect would help you to draft out and get for you. For UX designer would start from research, start finding out, oh, there's this product, what are problems people are having, why do we need this product, why is this product relevant, why is this product viable? They start making that research from the onset. So on and on and on and on, something like that. So I think yeah, that's basically most of what the question is. There's an error in the video due sent to us for resource. Backlog explaining interaction designers, motion designer. I think they should check the video spots and rectify the error. I think I watched the video myself and I was there when the video was made the first time. I think it's not what I call an error. I think you should listen to it again. He explained interaction design, then he explained motion design. I can remember he said he's happy that he's explaining motion design after illustration, interaction design rather. Like he's explaining motion design after interaction design. So I think yeah, it's really just listen very well, listen to it again, and try to be able to distinctively maybe separate the two from each other. In your mind, it actually could be just all together, but then yeah, there's difference in all of them. So can a UX designer work on physical product also aside websites? Yes, you can work on physical products. I mean, I like physical products very well because I feel like that's where the core part of design is. Yeah. Digital products are very good, seamless, they improve our lives a lot. But then physical products matter because I wouldn't want to use a phone that is too heavy and then my hand is paining me. It is the work of a designer to actually make sure like my hand doesn't hurt me when I'm using a phone. So all those kind of things. That's why I like to explain things with physical products because these are things you can interact with more. You can see them, you can touch them, you can understand them better than a digital product. Digital product can be locked, like you'll not be when you're testing it, maybe you'll not be able to go beyond a particular stage and you may not fully understand the product. But for physical products, you see everything. You see the color, you understand, you try to figure out why did they choose this color, why did they choose another color, is it durable, why does it have maybe this durability rate, all those kind of things. So that's just for me. All right, so we're going to be rounding up now. I think I've answered most of the questions people have. So if I missed, if you feel like I didn't answer any of your questions, please go back. I'm sure I've answered your questions from the beginning. So please just go through the whole video again and try to understand, listen carefully, and you'll be fine. So I'm going to be ending it here. So this is where I say good night, everyone. Keep on learning. Focus on the resources. Try to go through the resources one by one. Watch the videos. Take your time. Be patient. You'll get this. You have come to the right place, and you can do this. So believe in yourself. You will see it through till the end. So, all right. Good night, everyone.